Hey folks, this is Ben Michelson. Obviously, I'm not here today, but I want to just check in with you and make sure that you know what's going on. So hopefully you just watched this video about advocacy and what an advocacy plan is all about. It's inventing, innovating, or campaigning. The website that you're going to find on the pacing map looks like what I'm showing you right now. And it's got some more information about what each of these kind of things means. You're going to need to include one of these for your advocacy plan for your project. And up here in these tabs on this website that we've created are some really good videos for you that I think will help you to think a little bit about what you might want to do. You might get inspired by some of these videos, or at least get a better understanding of what each of these ways to advocate might look like. So feel free to access any of these videos. You might want to spend some time with this, especially if you're kind of done wrapping up with your research. It might be a good idea to go ahead and start looking at this website so that you can start thinking of your own advocacy plan. That being said, I know a lot of you still have research to do, so please use some of the class time today to do that research, to finish up some research. You may extend your research into the next couple of days, but I would imagine that you found a lot of good stuff by now, or if you haven't, you need to find some good stuff to kind of take some next steps with this project, because we'll have a few more steps to go after research and then after coming up with an advocacy plan. And I want to let you know a little bit more about that here today as well. So once you've kind of thought about your advocacy plan, after maybe looking at this website, you're going to want to start thinking of pitching your ideas. And so also on the pacing map is a link to this document, and it says 2030 pitch plan. Basically, what you're going to do here is come up with what is your ideas so far. What are your ideas as a group so far? So there's some steps to follow, and I won't read the whole thing to you, but you want to talk about what your goal is and what target you're addressing. And you want to think about, why is this important to you? Why'd you choose this? What's the motivation? And then what's your advocacy plan going to be? So there's some questions for you to maybe think a little bit more about that. Once you've kind of thought through all that, that's going to be your pitch, and you're going to record your pitch on Flipgrid under the appropriate grid. So there's a link to this Flipgrid on this document and also on the pacing map, and it will take you to the Flipgrid that looks kind of like this. You can see there's 6 different grids. They're all organized by those categories that we put things into, these goals into, when we started this project. So make sure you put it on the right Flipgrid. If you don't get this today, you might not, that's okay, but it's going to be part of our next step. So do the research first, come up with your advocacy plan, and then you're going to pitch it on Flipgrid, and then you'll be waiting a little bit for some responses. So after that, you're going to watch other groups' Flipgrids once they start popping up, give them some feedback. And once you have some feedback, you're going to think about what your next steps are going to be. Were your ideas well received? What do you still need to work on? And what are your next steps for your project? On the board, I've kind of got a mini pacing map, and you can kind of see what would be on pace and what we have coming up in the near future. Some of that's the stuff I just talked about, and you can see it ends with the final presentation of our work. So you'll want to make sure that you're on pace, make sure that you're making some progress on something here today. Again, I would start with the research, get to the advocacy plan, and maybe get around to doing the pitch plan, but we'll have more time for some of that stuff next class as well. That's pretty much all I wanted to say. Thanks for listening, and again, make sure that you're treating my sub with respect. If you have any questions about the project that the sub can't answer, feel free to hop over to Ms. Harris. She'll help you out and get you on track. So thank you. Have a good rest of your Monday, everybody.